Welcome to the second video on the vent system. In the first video, I showed you how to access the system. In this second video, I will show you how to perform a sale on the vent system. So the first thing you need to do is you need to sign in, and this will normally be the screen that you will see when you open up the system. Just make sure that you are on the sell tab on your left-hand menu as well as on the sell link. Sometimes you may find that this is hidden away on your screen. Just move your mouse to the left and this menu will open up. The first thing you need to do when this screen is open in the morning is to open a register. Now, if you work with a float, you need to type in your float amount here. If you do not work with a float, just ignore this section and click on Open Register. Once you've clicked on Open Register, this receipt will appear. So if you have a float, you can print it and then keep the receipt with your float box. Otherwise, you just click on Cancel. Right, so now you are ready to start creating your customer. That's the first thing you need to do. So the first step in a sale is to open your register early in the morning, and then when a customer arrives, you're then going to add your customer. So here on the right hand side at the top, it says add customer. The first thing you do is you type in the BB number of that customer. So let's say BB1232, for example, and then you hit on the space tab and then you enter the customer's name and surname. So let's say, for example, it's Sophie Kekana as an example. Once you've entered the name of the customer, you click on Add. In this screen, you will see that the first name is now indicated as the BB number and the last name is both the name and surname of the customer. Now you have to enter the email, but this is not the email of the customer. It's your own email. It's very important that you enter your own email in here because this is where you will receive all the receipts of the sales that you will do for the day. So I will just enter my email address here, lindy@wisani.co.za. Right, and then you can also enter the cell phone number of the customer. So let's say 0734562275 as an example. The next thing you need to ask the customer is if they want to get SMSs on promotions that we may have. Let's say, for example, there's a specific casket that we are running a special on. We can send them an SMS so that they are aware of it, or if it's a tombstone. If they say no, they don't want any SMSs, you need to move this button to the left so that we don't send any SMSs. But if the customer says, yes, it's fine, please leave it like this with the tick so that the customer will then receive those marketing SMSs. You can now click on Create New Customer. And there at the top you will see is the information of the customer. So now you can start to sell the products to the customer. When you look at this section, these are all little key buttons. These are the buttons for the most popular products that customers normally buy from Wisani and NLA. So this is just a quick way of adding a product that the customer wants to buy. So let's say, for example, the customer wants a President Nguni casket. You just click on President Nguni and you will see that the item appears on the right-hand side already with the price included. Now, let's say the customer would also like Angel 7 flowers. You can then click on that and add that. It will automatically add to your right-hand side. But let's say the customer wants 2 of these. What you need to do is you then click on this little arrow here and it opens up the screen. You will see quantity and now you can change that to 2. you click on that arrow again to close the window, and it will now show that there's 2 items of Angel 7 that the customer wants, and already automatically the amount has been added. Let's use another one. Let's say Angel 10 as well. So you can add Angel 10. The customer wants 2 of those as well. So again, you just change that to 2 and you click on that arrow to close that. But let's say the customer now also wants a tombstone. This is where you now need to start looking for the tombstone. You need to know the tombstone's code. You just click on this in the search area, and let's say the tombstone starts with a P, and immediately it will throw out all the P codes of a tombstone. So let's say the customer wants a P106 as an example, and then immediately it adds it to P106 to the list of items that the customer wants. Let's say, for example, you clicked on MV3 as another item that the customer wants, but the customer says, oh no, I don't want that anymore. Don't worry. What you can then do is you can just click on this little dustbin area and it will remove that item again. Right, so let's say this is now all the products that the customer wants. The next thing you need to do is you click on Pay for the 6 items. Now this is the total amount that the customer needs to pay for all the items, 81,470. Now let's say the customer says, okay, but I want to trade in my grocery voucher for the amounts or the products that I'm buying. The first thing, and this is a very, very important thing to remember, you must always type in the amount first before you click on any of these buttons here at the bottom. So we set grocery voucher. So the first thing I need to do is I'm going to type in 1,600 Rand for the grocery voucher, and then I will click on grocery voucher trade in. You will now see that it immediately subtracts that 1,600 from the total amount, and here on the left hand side it also indicates the amounts that are going to be subtracted. So let's say a customer now also has top up, and the customer wants to trade in the top-up amount for the products that he has bought. The first thing you need to do is type in the top-up amount. So let's say it is 8,200 Rand for top-up that the customer wants to trade in. You first type in the amount and then you click on top-up trade in. The reason why I say it's so important that you need to put in the amount first, if you click on top up trade in here, the whole 71,670 will be subtracted in the top up button. So please make sure that you indicate the amount first before you click on these buttons. Also, another thing what we can do is if the customer wants to trade in the tents and chairs, remember, first type in the amount, let's say 750, and now I click on tent and chairs trade in. Right, so a last thing could be a society coffin cashback. So let's say this is 6,000 Rand. Again, I will first type in the 6,000 Rand and I will click on society coffin cashback. And there we now have the total amount that the customer owes to either Wisani or NLA. Again, you will see all the items that have been traded in reflected on the left-hand side. This will also appear on the receipt that you will print to the customer once you have made your sale. If you are now happy that the customer is happy with the total amount, you can then ask the customer, Mr. Customer, how are you going to pay? So the customer may say, I would like to pay by card as well as cash. So the customer says, I want to pay 30,000 Rand cash and the remainder I want to pay with my card. So the first thing you do is, again, you type in 30,000 and you press on cash. Now the remainder, the customer said, I will pay this with my card. Now you can click on card because that's the total amount that the customer will now pay with his card. I'll click on card and immediately it zeroes it out. Everything is indicated on here. It shows you what the customer has bought. It will also show you the trade-ins that have been made as well as the payment methods that the customer used. Once you are happy that everything has now been included, please make sure that your email appears here because this is where the receipt is now going to be sent to your email. That receipt you're going to use when you do your cash ups. So now you can click on complete sale. And this is now the receipt that you will print. It may look a bit different because you may use that receipt printer that you do your sales from. So it won't be an A4 like in this example. You can also make it a little bigger by clicking on the plus here so that you can see what is on that receipt. And it indicates every action that you have taken in terms of the sales that you have made for that customer. You will then click on print and you will hand this receipt to your customer. I'm not going to click on print. I'm just going to cancel, but you must click on print. And that's the end of your sale. That's the first sale you have done. If you're going to continue with the next customer, you just click on your details again so that you can then access the next sale and the next customer that's coming to you. You're going to do the whole process all over again. That customer's information will now be added in this box and you're going to follow the exact same steps as I have showed to you in this system. Also, just very important that you remember, if you're going to leave your computer, please make sure that you sign out first so that no one else sell using your details. So you just click on your name here and you click on sign out. When you come back, you can then just sign in again. So this is how you conduct a normal sale. Thank you.